Welcome to the Vol Bros presented by the Ooltewah Club. My name is Evan. This is my brother Ruston, and we are two Vol Bros who are actually bros in real life. And look at what made a return. The football intro is back because we have one last game to discuss. As always, we are proud representatives of the of University of Tennessee on the Believe Entertainment Network. So we're proud to be part of that. And obviously, we have great appreciation for the Ooltewah Club again this year. I was there the past 2 days. I know for many of you, you're probably like, dude, that's awful. But for me, it was fantastic. I shot 84 both days. 84 is the best round of my life ever. And today, I got to the 18th hole. And if I parred it, I'd score 84 again. So my second shot came up short of the green. There's a lot of break in it. I chipped it, trying to get it close to the hole, save par. Well, it's breaking to the hole. Keep in mind, if it goes in, it's my new best, round ever at 83. And it came up just short. I have a photo here. That's how close it was. I was that close to a best round ever, and it stopped that short. So getting better. I'm on my quest to break 80. That's my goal. We are so glad all of you are here. We got a lot of comments already coming in. Wow, Matt, he just gifted 5 people memberships. You are the man. Thank you so much. We appreciate that very, very much. Matt is a channel member. He said, hello, fanatics. We are glad you're with us, Matt. Real quick, I tell you what, we'll do our first question. Do you want to do all 3 and then go to the comments, or do you want to do one and then go to the comments, come back? We'll do that. We'll do our first question, then we'll go to the comments, and then we'll go on, because it's a regular preview show for us. The only difference is we're previewing on Sunday for a 5:30 p.m. Eastern time game on a Tuesday. So, Ruston, what do you want to see Tuesday early evening?
Well, I mean, all of the variables are in place for this to be a massive letdown. So I want to see Josh Heupel get off the bus.
I think your AirPods may have just died or something. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened. My mic just decided to quit working. So I want to see Josh Heupel get off the bus, slinging it all over the yard. I want to see Braylon Staley, Ethan Davis, Mike Matthews, Travis Smith, especially Travis Smith. Now that he's fully healthy, I've heard he's been tearing it up in practice. I want to see him on full display. And so, Rodarius Jackson, Travis Smith are apparently splitting all of Chris Brazel's snaps. So I want to see Josh Heupel come out and set the tone that we're going to chuck it all over and really take advantage. Illinois' best pass rusher is not playing. Their leading tackler, who is a hybrid guy, he plays safety some, he plays outside linebacker some. He's not playing. He's injured. He's out. So, their leading tackler's out. Their best pass rusher is out. That screams air it out. Come out and attack the air. So I'm curious to see what that looks like. I hope that's the tone he sets. If he doesn't, I think we still win this thing in a shootout, but I'm not expecting a whole lot of defense on either sides of the ball. And so I want to see us take the reins on that. I would even be good if we won the coin toss, take the ball. Let's go set a tone right off the bat.
Well, that would definitely be a first in the Josh Heupel era, to not defer to the second half. I'm with you. Actually, like I said, we don't confer before the shows, but what Ruston led off with there is exactly what I want to see. I just want to see a team that cares. Like, a lot of the fan base doesn't care. Is the team in the same boat? I just want to see a team that cares, that has some pride and shows up and plays hard. Because let me tell you, Illinois cares. they're excited. They're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
So they're going to care. I hope our guys do. I mean, that's the bottom line. With as many people that have either opted out or which I get it. Like, Colton Hood, he should have opted out. Joshua Josephs, he should have opted out. A lot of people have a lot of different opinions about that, but it's a business decision. I mean, literally millions of dollars are on the line for these guys if they get injured. I mean, you can't risk that, which I hate to say it, but for a game that ultimately doesn't matter. I mean, like that's sad to say, but it just doesn't. And so other than just for being a competitor, these guys don't have much to play for. And so I hope that we see a team that cares. Honestly, that's all I hope for. I have very different opinions about who's going to perform and that kind of stuff. So we'll get to that. Some of the comments coming through. David, welcome, buddy. Glad you're with us. He said, "Good evening, Evan and Ruston." Okay, thank you, David, for asking this question, because I think this one question totally encapsulates the vast majority of Vol Nation's opinions. I think Vol Nation is more concerned about next week when the transfer portal opens than they are about this game. I mean, honestly, I kind of am. I'm kind of more intrigued to see what they do. So I think that totally encapsulates everything. Do you want me to save this and we'll come back to this after we finish talking about this game? Yeah, let's do that.
Up to you.
We'll come back to that after we finish previewing this game. That's a good question, David. Blake, welcome. Glad you're with us. He said, "Good evening, guys. Go Vols." Glad you're with us, man. Let's see. Mississippi Vol, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said, "Good evening, guys. Hope a Merry Christmas was had by all. Big news from the Hill today. Coach Gardner is staying put." Yep, that's exactly right. He's expected to return. Not sure how many years on the contract, but it'll be huge having him next year. It's a major win for Tennessee. Major win. No doubt about it. David, let's see. He was replying to Mississippi Ball. Jonathan, welcome, buddy. He said, "Hello, Evan Ruston chat family. I just read Coach Gardner's." Yep, coming back. Absolutely. Let's see. Blake said Illinois secondary isn't good at all. You are correct. Sadly, neither is ours. What's unfortunate is Ruston and I just recorded a podcast with Ion Illini from the IlliniGuys.com. We were fortunate to be guests on their show. We just recorded that. We finished like 30 minutes ago recording it. And as we were talking about the secondary for Tennessee, and specifically the corner position. Yeah, Audrey said the same thing. "Hey, Audrey, good to have you." She said, "Neither is ours." When you think about our corners, our top 3 corners, none of them are playing in this game. Jermod, Ricky Gibson, and Colton Hood. So our 4th best corner is going to be our top corner in this game, and he's a true freshman. Not ideal. Okay, not ideal. So let's see. Jared said, "What does their opt-out list look like? We have lost some key pieces." You're exactly right, Jared. I'm glad you're with us. They only got 2 guys who aren't playing. Oh, 3. Okay.
Their best offensive lineman opted out because he's going pro. Their leading pass rusher opted out. Yeah.
I like that.
And their leading tackler, who is typically a safety, but does walk down and play some outside linebacker.
But he's hurt, right?
That's questionable. So that's what that guy was talking about on the Illini show when he said they don't know what Brett Bielema will do. He's telling people he's injured and he's not playing. The coaching staff has refused to list him as injured.
It sounds like a healthy relationship.
Yeah. But he's projected to go in the first 3 rounds of the draft. He ain't playing. So, so their leading tackler who plays safety does play some outside linebacker. He's out. Their top pass rusher is opting out, and their only consistent offensive lineman who is their best offensive lineman has opted out.
David said, I hope Perlotti, Harmon, Dye, Campbell, and Utley get some run. They will, especially Perlotti.
All of them. That list right there, they're all going to play, and they're going to play a lot because there's just not many other guys.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, Perlotti, they don't even have a choice. They have to play. I mean, he is now the third best linebacker on the team.
Well, even Dye, Campbell, and Utley. I mean, it's Dominic Bailey and Bryson Eason. Everybody else is injured. Yeah. David Hobbs probably will play, but he's been banged up. Those three guys are going to get some. They're going to get some run.
Blake gave his score prediction, so I'll save that for the score prediction segment. Let's see. Missy Vol said, man, just think how great it would be to see Rodarius and Travis both have big games. Could be a springboard for them next season. Absolutely. I mean, you got to be really excited if you are thinking about the wide receiver room next year, because you're going to have 5 dudes, and I mean that, dudes. You're going to have a third-year guy, well, 2 3-year guys, really, in Mike Matthews and Braylon Staley. You're going to have Rodarius Jackson and Travis Smith, plus you're going to have Tristan Keys. So you've got 5 dudes who can step on the field and make something happen. That's exciting. That is exciting. David gave his score prediction, so I'll save that. Jared said, does weather play a factor in passing? It's going to be freezing.
Not really.
I don't.
They've learned how to play with balls that are frozen, and they'll keep them. They'll rotate them in and out quickly, and it won't make a big difference. I mean, just look at the Buffalo Bills. They play in horrendous weather, and Josh Allen throws the ball constantly.
Blake makes a great point here. He said, why should we care? I hate being negative, but I want the playoffs. Yeah, man. That's the way a ton of people feel. Ton of people. Totally understand. Jonathan said, I hate seeing us play a Big Ten team in the Music City Bowl after what happened the last time when we crossed the goal line but was not given a touchdown. David said, I'm glad we have our whole starting offensive line playing for Joey and the team. Totally agree. 100%.
That may be the difference in the game, honestly.
Yeah. Matt said, I'm focused on the bowl game first. 8-5 versus 9-4 is a big deal with me. Yeah, 100% agree with that, man. The optics of it, for sure. 8-5 looks way worse than 9-4. You're exactly right. Josh, welcome, buddy. He said Josh Heupel wishes he could have this success. I think any coach in the country wishes they could have the success that he's had.
There's maybe 3 coaches in the entire country who don't wish for that.
Yeah, that's being generous. I mean, like, anybody would love to do. I mean, the dude has literally made the best coaching turnaround in the history of the game.
Yeah.
It's
Ryan
incredible.
Day and Kirby Smart may be the only 2 who aren't envious of Kurt Cignetti.
Yep. Absolutely. David said Ty Redmond may be a true freshman, but he's an all SEC corner. So I hope Jalen McMurray slides over and they have Beasley playing the star.
No, Beasley's going to back up the safeties. McMurray's starting at the star. The other corner is either going to be a combination of William Wright and Trey Poteet. They've already
William
announced
Wright's
that.
going to start. I would be shocked if William Wright doesn't start. Josh said, take the over. Yeah, for sure. Josh said, that same comment. So let's see. Oreo Puppy Dog, hey, what's up, buddy? He said, I'm late. I was bear hunting and just got home. Dang, man, that's awesome. I hope you got one. He said, sure hope we win and Redmond have a great game, and Joey. Yeah, absolutely. Blake said, if you look at the teams on paper, talent-wise, it's not even close. Correct. Tell that to Cignetti and Indiana. He said, but apparently that doesn't matter after what Vandy did to us. Also correct. Yeah, I mean, our defense has been terrible all year, and we lost our 3 best defenders. So that's and the guy who was calling the plays. So that's a huge recipe for success. Jared said, do y'all think anyone enters the portal after the bowl game?
100%.
That's a good question.
Oh, there absolutely will be. A lot of these
Yeah.
kids will use this as a way to put more reps on film that they can put online and use to get recruited. 100%. There'll be some guys that the coaches will give an opportunity in this game, and they may not realize it's their last opportunity. And they'll let them go out there and fly around and see what they can do in a legit environment. And if they don't respond, the coaches may go, "Hey, there's a dude in the portal that we need more than we think you're going to help us next year. So this is your official notice to enter the portal."
Yeah.
There's that's going to happen 100%.
Let's see. Billy, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. There's channel member. Rebel G said Clemson and Penn State played what they called a football game this weekend. What an awful game.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
David said, my one wish in this game, besides winning the game, is to see Bishop get his 1,000-yard season. Yeah, I totally agree. I think he's only 16 yards shy of it, so he'll definitely get it. There's obviously a lot of, statistical things for Joey that if he performs well, he'll accomplish as well. I think that both of those things will happen. Blake said, do you think a team goes after Ty Redmond? Yes. I think a lot of teams are going to go after Ty Redmond. And Ty Redmond's representatives are going to use that against Tennessee to make sure he gets more money. I think there's probably 1/4 of our roster right now who are hearing from other teams, at least, if not more. Everybody's contacting everybody right now. Every team is contacting dozens upon dozens of players all across the country, trying to convince them to enter the portal and come there. Let's see. Oreo said, has Joey heard any news on his case? No, it's not going to. They're talking about other teams have now entered it, and they're going to try to appeal and stuff like that. It ain't going to happen. Even if it does, Tennessee can't wait on that because it won't be decided until after the transfer portal window opens.
Yep.
Joey understands that too. He more than anybody would understand that. So even if he does get another year, Tennessee has to get a guy in the portal next week when it opens. They got to go after somebody. Rhonda, great to have you. Great to have you with us. Jonathan said, who's calling plays for us? I think it's William Inge.
William Inge was named the defensive play caller, which will also be interesting because he likes to play a lot of base and just let them fly to the ball. Which with a guy like Jaden Perlotti, that's a good thing. He doesn't have to think through his assignment or his alignment. He can just go get lined up and play. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Well, they're going to have to, because they're going to have so little experience on the field. They're going to have to, because they don't have much choice. Brennan, welcome, buddy. He said, Enid Vol Bros and fam, good to have you, Brennan. Let's see. Blake said, how is that not illegal that teams are contacting people? It is 100% illegal. But it is 100% also happening all over the place, especially
everywhere.
Yeah.
If it's illegal, they would have to turn in every school in America.
Yeah. Dude, Tennessee was talking to people, I guarantee you, this past week. And that's the thing, this past week, there is no telling how many guys were sitting on Christmas Day, sitting at their parents' house with their families, and their phones were blowing up nonstop.
Yep.
I guarantee you some parents had to be like, all right, let's just have 15 minutes where we can talk to each other on Christmas Day. And then I guarantee you for hours that night, players and their families were sitting around their kitchen tables saying, okay, school A has offered $250,000 a year. School B has offered $350,000 a year. School C has offered a guaranteed spot, but it's $150,000 a year. They're all sitting around weighing the options. And there's guys who probably came back from Christmas to their teams, knowing to a point earlier, knowing I'm entering the portal next week, but I'm not telling my team because I'm going to play in this bowl game. Because I know Miami has offered me $750,000 to come play there next year. So that happened all week last week, all week. David said Ty Redmond definitely deserves a raise, even more than Ricky Gibson. I mean, yeah, that's fair. I mean, he put on the field this year. Ricky hadn't done that for a full season yet. Let's see. Audrey said agents are always talking to agents. Yep, for sure. For sure. Jonathan said, I hope Joey at least gets his 200 yards to end his career, never having passed for less than 200 yards in a game. You're spot on, Jonathan. And I bet Heupel has that in the back of his mind as well. David said Joey's decision may come in the spring. I think that Baylor basketball decision may have opened the door for Joey, but he'll play at another school. Yeah, basketball has become
it's a
crazy
train
town.
wreck.
Yeah. And
they better
crazy town.
They better get that under control fast because it's going down a really bad path. And even Tom Izzo called out Bryce Drew today for taking that kid. And I mean, it's a mess.
Yeah. If people don't know what David's talking about Baylor basketball. So Baylor basketball signed a former first-round draft pick in the NBA to their team. He got eligible for the second semester, so he will be joining their team immediately. He's coming from the NBA back to college because he can make more money playing at Baylor, and he's going to play for the rest of the season.
Louisville did the same thing. They've got a guy starting second semester, and Louisiana Tech had a dude that left last year, went to the G League, has played a lot of minutes in the G League, and decided he was just basically homesick and wanted to go back to Louisiana Tech. So he's going back and he's starting next semester. That's now 3 guys that have gone pro and then come back to college. They've got to stop this.
Yep. Billy said, that's sad that this is happening to college like it's the NFL. Yeah. I mean, it's professional sports now is what it is. 100%. Yep. Yep. It's pretty wild, isn't it, Matt? Pretty wild. So let's go to our second question. Who do you think is going to be the guy that everybody's talking about had just an awesome game Tuesday night at 5:30, 4:30 Central Time? That blows my mind that we're playing at that time, but whatever.
I think Braylon Staley, because that safety's out, he's the guy who typically, because he also walks down and plays the nickel, plays outside linebacker, he typically covers the slot. He's their best player and he's not playing. So that, their secondary already wasn't very good. You take the one guy who was going to be covering our best receiver off the field, and I think that spells a really big day for Braylon Staley.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick, and mine's very much related to that. I think this is our easiest, who's going to have a great game segment we've ever had on our show. This is going to be Joey Aguilar cinema on Tuesday. There's, in my opinion, nobody else who's going to draw the numbers, the racking up the stats like Joey is, because they can't guard our receivers. And Joey is, listen, Heupel knows, he knows this is Joey's chance of one last chance to impress scouts. For some reason, being the leader in the SEC in passing yards didn't impress him enough, because to my knowledge, he has not even yet received an invite to the Senior Bowl. So they know they have to let him air it out to drive up his draft stock. So I think Joey, like you said, they're going to walk out of the bus and Joey's already going to be throwing the ball around. I think that this is 100% going to be the Joey Aguilar show on Tuesday. Let's see some of the questions here coming through. John said, I thought once you went pro, you couldn't play in college. Yeah, that's how it used to be. Times they have a change.
So what they're doing, the NCAA screwed up and allowed European pro. I mean, we're benefiting from it. Ethan Berg fits this category. He was playing pro ball in Lithuania, and they basically said, okay, those 2 years of pro ball, we're going to count against your, against your eligibility. So you got 2 years of eligibility left. And so these schools are making a case that these guys in the G League are no different than these European pros that are coming over, and the NCAA is saying, okay. So, the craziest one is the one Baylor just got, because he actually had an NBA contract. He was a two-way guy, but they're still saying because he was in the G League, he's just like these European guys. It's insane.
Well, and then, immediately people started tweeting about Kennedy Chandler, bring him back, because, he only used 1 year of eligibility. So people immediately started talking about, bringing him back. Let's see. Blake asked a good question. Said, are you guys going to the game? So we're not, at least I'm not. I don't think Ruston is either. Because that's another issue I have with this game. A lot of Vol Nation travels better than anybody, but a lot of Vol Nation is disinterested in this game, because part of it is it's the Music City Bowl. We've been there, done that so many times. I've literally heard some people say we don't even get to leave our own state for a bowl game. And then it's in the middle of a work day. If you're in the central time zone, it's during your work day. People would have to take Tuesday off to be able to go to the game. So I hope there's a lot of people there. I kind of don't think there will be. I think it'll probably be like half to 3/4 full. But like I said, that's why I hope the team is interested, because a lot of the fan base is disinterested.
I thought about going until I saw two things. And I was really kind of surprised by the first one. Number one, I was on Vivid Seats. I just checked it a little bit ago to see if it's still there. Vivid Seats, StubHub, Ticketmaster. The cheapest ticket available right now is still $47 a ticket, and that's for the upper deck. That to me is absurd. That game should not be drawing that level of pricing for an upper deck ticket. The second thing that deterred me was, because I am off and I considered taking my kids up and going. The high on Tuesday in Nashville is 36, which means at 6 o'clock, maybe even 5:30 when the game starts, when the sun goes down, it's going to be below freezing. So if you're already paying $47 a ticket to sit in the upper deck in a stadium where the wind never stops blowing off the river in sub-freezing temperatures, that sounds horrendous. So I had zero interest once I saw those two things.
Well, so to your point, when it was first announced, where they were going, I immediately went to look up ticket prices. At that time, now it's come down substantially. At that time, the to get in the door, the cheapest seat was like $82 or $88, something like that. So for a family of four, that was going to be over $300 for us to go up there. And with all the people opting out with everything, I was like, I just can't. I can't justify it.
Even now, it
was $250 for lower bowl tickets.
Yeah, still is. There's some that are $300. We're 2 days away. There's tons of open tickets available, and there's still $47 for the upper deck. Like, I don't understand what it's going to take for them to reduce those things. Otherwise, they're just going to end up with empty seats.
Exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen. David said, I think Ethan Davis exposes Illinois' defense because he's been on fire. Yeah, I mean, he better. I mean, I would love to see him have a great day. Joey's going to be throwing the ball over the place. Get it to Ethan some. He'll catch it. Let's see. Matt said he thinks Travis Smith Jr. has a big game because he's finally healthy. Jonathan said he'll go either Jackson or Smith, Redarius Jackson or Travis Smith Jr. I mean, yeah, both those dudes are going to have a great game, but I would invite you to consider, if you're Joey Aguilar and you got Mike Matthews and Braylon Staley, who are proven commodities, and the other team can't guard them, you're going to be throwing them the ball because you know those dudes really well. You've got chemistry with them. But do I think Rodarius Jackson and Travis Smith Jr. Put on a show? I hope so. Really do. Eric, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said, "What's up, all bros? I'm confident Tennessee beats Illinois this Tuesday in the Music City Bowl. My score prediction is 42-28 Tennessee." That's probably a pretty good score prediction. Mississippi Vol said it would be groovy to see Ethan have a big game and continue his upward trajectory. Totally agree. Eric said, "I think we're going to be talking about Joey Aguilar with passing yards." Yeah. And he said, or Deshaun Bishop. Absolutely. Let's see. Joey said, Jonathan said, Joey should at least get invited to the Senior Bowl. 100% agree. He said, I would love to see him get an invite to the Combine as well, but I doubt he gets that. I would love to see him get drafted. Yeah, I mean, it's shocking to me that his stock hasn't risen to the point that it should have, at least, because the guy led the SEC in passing yards. That is an incredible accomplishment. So it's shocking to me that his stock hasn't risen, but I don't get it. Let's see. Nolan said it should honestly be illegal to have to go to a bowl game in your own state unless you're Hawaii, a Texas school or a Florida school. Absolutely. Totally agree. Yeah, Matt said it's going to be freezing too. Yep. You and Ruston were on the same page there. Let's see. David said that's stupid expensive for a minor bowl game. Yeah, for sure. Billy said, why on earth did they schedule the game in the evening? Great question. My question is, why is it a Tuesday? That's my question. Not even a holiday. I mean, at least make it like noon on New Year's Eve or something. I mean, give us something. Let's see. Oh, Eric, I totally agree with you. He said, even though it is the middle of work day, I think Tennessee will still have more fans than Illinois. 100%. I totally agree with that. Absolutely. Blake said his cousin paid $1,200 for him, his wife, and their 2 kids. So 4 people, $1,200 for tickets. Yep. I believe it. Totally. Rebel Jew said he probably won't start in the fall, but Faison Brandon is the quarterback Heupel has been waiting for. First and long-term quarterback if he stays. I think there's a legacy to be made there. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. David said, I went to the Gator Bowl against Indiana for like $40 for mid-level in 2020. Yeah. And that's a good price. I mean, I'd do that in a heartbeat. Let's see. Rebel Jew said Faison might be Heupel's QB to win a natty in 27 or 28. Yeah, 27 is the year that everybody's going to have circled because if people stay, which they won't, but if everybody stays who should be here, that could be a loaded team. Let's see. Herb said, who in your guys' opinion, couple on offense and defense that could have a good game and catapult them into next year? That's a good question. Okay, so let's answer that. Who do you think could have a good game this Tuesday that could carry over into success next year? I think your answer, Ruston, on offense would be the receivers you mentioned.
Yeah, I'm expecting a big day from Travis Smith. If he does in this game what they say he's been doing in practice, I'm expecting Travis Smith to have a really good day.
If I go on defense, I would say Jaden Perlotti. I think that, he could have a really, really big game because I think his speed with Luke Altmaier trying to escape, that's not a good situation for Altmaier. And so I think Perlotti could have a really big game and kind of put himself on a lot of people's radar for next year. Everybody already knows about Ty Redmond, so I don't think that's going to be a breakout, kind of person. So I would say Jaden Perlotti. On offense, I mean, You can't argue with Ruston's picks. Either one of the two freshman receivers who's going to be playing in place of Chris Brazzell. But I'm going to go Mike Matthews. Maybe a little redemption game for Mike Matthews. Had a rough ending of the season. I'm sure he's itching to get out there and prove himself as well.
On defense, I'll take Edwin Spillman for the reason I gave a few minutes ago. William Inge doesn't like to dial up a lot of stuff. He likes to play a lot of base and just let him fly to the ball. That fits Edwin Spillman's skill set really well. He can just read what he sees in front of him and then go after it. He's better when he's just running to the ball. He tends to get himself in trouble when he's running stunts, when he's trying to do things that, are outside of his normal position. And so I think he could have a really big day on defense, and that'll set him up. They're still trying to figure out how some of these linebackers fit into Jim Knowles' system. I could see a big day Tuesday kind of showing Jim Knowles where Edwin Spillman could fit in. And so I could see him having a big day.
Eric said Darius Jackson, big time game. I think that's fair. This is a fantastic question by Jonathan. I would love to know the answer to this because surely the answer is no. He said, has the SEC leader in passing yards ever not been invited to the Senior Bowl? That is a phenomenal question. Surely they have always been invited. Surely. That has never happened. Wouldn't it be just like Tennessee to have the first one, though? That's a phenomenal question. Former Arkansas head coach Chad Morris is with us again. Chad, we're glad you're with us, buddy. Just so everybody knows, it's probably not that same Chad Morris.
Actually, yes, that has happened before. Stetson Bennett in 2022.
I wonder if that's because he was. How far did they go on? Did they win the national championship that year? He might have been invited.
He just led the SEC in passing yards and was not invited to the Senior Bowl.
Wow. Well, there you go. Chad, I can't say that I totally agree with you. I'm putting this on the screen because I think it's hilarious. This is maybe one of the most bizarre comments or off the wall comments we've ever had. But Cubs fans everywhere are going to freak out at Chad's statement. He said Illinois is one of the 5 most useless states in the country. I think it's hilarious that Chad has a ranked list of the useless states in our country. That he knows they're one of the 5 most useless. That's great. So there's shout out to everybody in Illinois watching. We love you guys.
So there's going to be one more quarterback invited to the Senior Bowl. They usually take 6. There's 5 that have accepted so far. Taylon Green from Arkansas, Diego Pavia, Luke Altmaier from Illinois, Sawyer Robertson from Baylor, and Cole Payton from North Dakota State. You have to think that kid's put up video game numbers this year. That makes sense. I'm sure there was an NFL team that said they wanted to see him. Because you got to remember, the Senior Bowl isn't just about people from the Senior Bowl inviting. It's also NFL franchises saying, we want to see this guy. So, some of the invites come directly from the NFL. You have to think that one remaining spot, they're watching bowl games and they're waiting on the NFL to tell them who they want that guy to be. Luke Altmaier's already been invited, already accepted. You have to think if Joey goes out and tears it up Tuesday, Joey's probably that 6th guy.
Billy said, is Joey coming back to this? Yes, Joey is playing Tuesday. He is. Let's see. David asked, will Heupel have a general manager and clock management assistant in the future?
He technically has a general manager now. They just don't call it that. No, he will not have a clock management assistant.
But I agree he might need one. Audrey said that is 99.9% a big no. But I agree with you. Not the best clock management sometimes at the end of halves. Hey, Matt, you're the man, dude. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. You are the man. Thank you. Let's see. Eric said, I agree, Evan. I think Perlotti has a big game and Deshaun Bishop on offense. Absolutely. Rhonda said, I just don't want to have to depend on field goals. Amen. Amen. Let's see. Jonathan said
he just got a
Perlotti and Beasley. That's a good one.
He just got a title name change, so I wanted to make sure to read his exact title because I think it's just a cool title. So Heupel doesn't have a GM, but he does have that role. They just call it something different. His is Billy High, and Billy's title is Executive Director of Football Management.
That's
something
that's a $10
to aspire
title
to.
right there. Absolutely.
I want to be the Executive Director of Football Management.
EDFM.
Yeah. Which is way more letters than GM.
Let's see. Nolan said, didn't Mississippi State quarterback when Leach was there not get invited? I don't know. That's fun. That's a fun thing to research. Audrey's researching it. She says that everybody's been invited. Oh, Nolan gave us the ranking. Man, we're going to tick off everybody that is living in these states. He said 5 most useless states. Rhode Island, not a state. Okay, now that's funny. Rhode Island folks, we love you guys. Didn't Rick Barnes coach at Providence? Didn't he coach there? That's what I thought. So shout out to Providence University. We love you, Rhode Island, New Mexico, North Dakota, South Dakota, and the very bottom part of Florida where the Everglades are. Oh man, that's funny. Okay. To everyone watching in those states, y'all are awesome. Y'all are vitally important to the union. We appreciate you. Even you, Rhode Island. That got me, man. Rhode Island, not a state. That is good. Let's see. Jonathan, this is a legit point. He said the offensive coordinator should help with clock management since Heupel's calling plays. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Rebel G said, do you think we will see the new Adidas uniforms before next season? Growing up in the 90s, I can't wait for the nostalgia. Feels like 98. What do you think, Ruston? I think we might have a different opinion on this.
When you say see them, do you mean physically see them or see them on them? You're not going to see them
physically see them.
Yeah, they'll unveil, images and things like that. Sure, but you're not going to see it on them until next season. There's contracts in place.
You know where I think we first see them? On Twitter.
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yep, exactly. I think we're going to see photos on Twitter of some person who just happens to be walking into, Alumni Hall or happens to be walking into Dick's Sporting Goods, and they see jerseys on the racks, and they're like, oh, so that must be what this year's uniforms look like. The exact same thing happened with the Smoky Grays. And then if everybody remembers, I think it was 9 years ago now, the Smoky Gray, maybe no, it was more than that. It was probably 2014, I think it's 2014. They had those Smoky Grays that had the checkerboard down the shoulders, and they got people started seeing them in stores and then on fanatics.com, and they're like, wait, are these our Smoky Grays this year? Because they were horrible. And so they immediately pulled the plug on that. And then 2 years later, some hockey team or something in Iran, I think it was, tweeted out photos. They had just won their championship, and they were wearing those jerseys. That just cracked me up. So, yeah, I mean that we will see them in photos online before we see them on the players, for sure. That's a good question. Eric said, "What do you think about Rodney Garner being retained by Jim Knowles?" I think that's a no-brainer decision. He had to do it.
Yep.
How could you not have one of the best defensive line coaches in the country on your staff? Blake said, "Feels like 98. Do you guys agree for 2027 season?" I mean, who knows, right?
I'll tell you in July
of 2027. Like, we don't even know right now who's going to be playing. Okay, here's how bizarre it is. We don't even know right now who's going to be on Tennessee's football team when spring practice starts. And that's just 3 months from now. We definitely don't know who's going to be on Tennessee's football team in the fall of 2027. A whole lot can happen there. Oreo Puppy Doggy said, "I love the Dakotas." Absolutely, man. Hey, shout out to the Dakotas. Absolutely. David, he said, "Fun fact: the Everglades are significantly bigger than Rhode Island." That's awesome. Mississippi Vol said July 1st is when the contract kicks in. Yeah, absolutely. Jonathan, this is good money. A good question. He said, "Do you think the Smoky Grays come back with Adidas, or do you?" He said, "I know dark mode's going to because everybody loves them." Yeah, I think dark mode will certainly return. Smoky Grays, I also agree, will return. Will they be different? We know the Smoky Grays will be, but will they be different for dark mode? That's a really interesting question. Let's see. Rebel Juice, I wish we had a Peyton Manning in those new Adidas uniforms. Yeah, for real, man. Matt said he wants at least a dozen people in the portal, a whole bunch of defensive dudes, 100%. Absolutely.
It'll be at least that.
Oreo Puppy Dog. The $20 million question. He said, "When is Adidas money available?"
Legally or in reality?
I was trying to figure out. Honestly, I was thinking that exact same thing. And I honestly thought about saying,
because it already is.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I legit thought about saying like legally. And then I thought, or should I say, you mean like on the table or under the table? Yeah, technically July 1st. Are they already using that money? 1 trillion% yes. If you don't believe me, I invite you to go look at where Tristan Keys signed his national letter of intent. Because he's literally already an Adidas athlete. They've already signed him in high school. And I guarantee you there is a strong connection there. Yeah, John said it's in Chick-fil-A bags.
There's a reason we just signed a top 5 recruiting class, and it ain't our incredible ability to recruit.
Yeah. In addition, you think about like Boo Carter, they needed some good publicity for Boo Carter. And it just so happened that Boo Carter purchased uniforms, all brand new uniforms for Brainerd High School right here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And what do you know? They were Adidas uniforms. I'm sure there was no connection there at all. It was totally coincidental. They were just like, man, those are some good looking Adidas uniforms. Let's get them.
They were just the ones that were most in stock.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Let's see. Let's see. A lot of people said now. David said we got Tristan Keys because of it. Herb said the basketball team has an open spot. Does Barnes bring in someone? I mean, hey, go get Kennedy Chandler. Bring that dude back. Let's see. Blake said, "Who is the favorite so far in the portal for Tennessee's quarterback position next year?" Okay, so all right, I'll go back to the original question. David started out by saying, "I'm curious, Ruston, put on your coaching hat. If you could pick from UNLV's quarterback, James Madison's quarterback, or East Carolina's quarterback, who would be the pick for Tennessee?"
You can go ahead and scratch East Carolina's quarterback from that list. I don't want him. The kid from JMU is intriguing only because that program exudes toughness, and I like the winning pedigree and the toughness he would bring. For the money, if all things are equal, I want Calandria from UNLV for two reasons. Number one, he is a true dual threat, so he brings a really good arm with a good understanding of defenses, but the ability to run the ball as well. If you can't get him, I say forget the other two. Let's roll with George McIntyre. I don't see the other two being better than George. The other reason I would love to have Calandria is he's played at the Power 4 level. He started 18 games at Virginia under Tony Elliott. Tony Elliott is a very good offensive mind. So he was well coached there. But probably more than anything, this year at UNLV, his offensive coordinator was Corey Dennis. Most people don't know that name. Corey Dennis was the pass game coordinator at Tulsa last year and really wanted to be the full-time coordinator, and Dan Mullen gave him that opportunity. But what people don't know about Corey Dennis is where he was before Tulsa. He was the quarterback's coach at Ohio State. And you may have heard of the guys he worked with, J.T. Shroud, Justin Fields, and Dwayne Haskins. So Corey Dennis has coached some high-level quarterbacks. J.T. Shroud credits him with his development as a quarterback. So a guy who develops at that level, who took Calandria this year and turned him into an elite quarterback, that's a kid who's been well taught, and that's a kid that I think walks right in and does very well here.
Matt said just 15 likes. Hey, we appreciate it. We got 129 people watching across all three platforms. We appreciate y'all. But to his point, check this out, Rustin. You ready for this? Watch the screen here. Look at that. How about them apples? Look, it even moves. Man, that's so fancy. And then it goes by. There you go. So like and subscribe. We appreciate that. That's awesome. Let's see. Audrey said Colton Joseph from ODU would do extremely well in Heupel's offense.
That's another one. I'd rather see George McIntyre. I don't see that kid playing at this level. It's dual threat kid, runs the ball very well. I don't see it. My number one pick is the Hoover kid at TCU. I think you go all in on him. If you can't get him, I'm good with Calandria.
I think I already know your answer to this one. What about Brendan Sorsby?
He's going to Texas Tech.
Exactly. So Brendan Sorsby, his girlfriend is transferring to Texas Tech to play volleyball there. I believe it's volleyball. So she is going to Texas Tech. Brendan, he's going to Texas Tech. I mean, like, it hasn't been announced, but he's going there. It ain't happening. Blake asked,
who did I say when I rattled off his quarterbacks?
You said JT Shroud.
Oh, I meant CJ Stroud. Yeah, I meant CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud, Justin Fields, and Dwayne Haskins. Those were his three guys at Ohio State. And CJ Stroud gives him all the credit for his development as a quarterback.
Blake asked, do you think George McIntyre is ready, or is his body too thin still?
He's got a year. He's added some mass this year. This off season, they'll load him up. He'll get a lot bigger. He'll get bigger. And I would also point you to one Tyler Bray.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Yeah,
you can still sling it and be rail thin.
We had a case study of that exact thing in Tennessee Orange, and his name was Tyler Bray, for sure. Dude's arms were skinnier than mine, even. Well, I tell you what, let's do our score predictions for Tuesday night. We haven't done that yet.
Matt said the girlfriend's only been for 4 months. Yeah, that's true, but I'm pretty sure she didn't get a transfer spot at Texas Tech on her accolades. That was a very specific offer. And I'm sure she got a pretty little NIL deal to go with it.
Yeah. All right. Let's do score predictions. Blake said Tennessee wins 56-45. David said 42-27 Tennessee. What about you, Ruston? What's your score prediction?
I agree with Blake. I don't think there's going to be a lick of defense played on either side of the ball. I think it's going to be a shootout. That's why I hope we take the ball first, because I think the team with the most possessions wins. I'm going to go 51-45 Tennessee, only because it's in Tennessee.
So if you like offense, I would invite you to tune in to, is it going to be on like True TV? I mean, I don't even know what station it's going to be on. I just know they're being shoved to the corner, and they're going to play at 4:30 Central Time on a Tuesday afternoon. What kind of nonsense is that? It's probably on like the Hallmark Channel or something. I don't know. But
so no, it's on ESPN. It's part of a triple header, but listen to what they bumped it for. So the 2:00 game is Louisiana Tech and Coastal Carolina. Okay, that makes sense. Then Tennessee, Illinois at 5:30. But the 9:00 game that they chose over Tennessee, Illinois, Southern Cal and TCU.
Yeah, not a good thing for Tennessee. So here's the thing. Our defense has been bad all year. That's just the reality. Our 3 best defenders are not playing in this game. That is not a good and our defensive coordinator is gone. So that is not a recipe for success. We only stopped one SEC team the whole year from scoring 30 points. Even Kentucky, who prior to playing us, the most points they had scored in an SEC game was 13 points. And we let them score over 30 points. I mean, Illinois walks in the stadium with a 30 spot already on the board, pretty much is how this goes. So then the question becomes, can we outgun them? Which we probably could. But I'm very concerned that Illinois is fired up. They want to play. They want to come down here, march into Tennessee's state, and beat Tennessee in their own state. They want to be in this game. My concern is that Tennessee does not. I hope I'm wrong. But I have a sneaky suspicion, with so many people opting out of this game, so many people already have entered the transfer portal, so many people who already know they're entering the transfer portal next week and just haven't said anything out loud about it yet. I do not feel good about this game on a Tuesday afternoon in Middle Tennessee in freezing weather. I don't feel good about it. So unfortunately, I think Illinois wins 34-31. I hate saying that, and I hope I'm terribly wrong. But unfortunately, I think that's the way it's going to go down. Chad said 49-35. Vols win. Matt said, I mean, she's only going to get like 20 grand. I will take 20 grand to play college volleyball right now.
So the and again, this is all
Actually,
rumors.
no, I won't, because I won't be.
Yeah, this is all rumors. Who knows if it's accurate or not? There are Texas Tech people who are reporting that she got $500,000.
Yeah, that's hard to turn down. That is hard to turn down. Let's see. Eric said Tennessee 42, Illinois 28. Oh, Eric, I wish I could agree with you, man. I would love that. But man, Luke Altmaier is salivating, knowing that Tennessee's porous secondary is now going to be without their best defender of the year and Colton Hood back there. He is salivating. Jonathan said 59-49. I mean, that's probably pretty close. Something went in my eye just then on live, somewhat television, on live YouTubes. And now, man, that is really messing with me.
God's smiting you for choosing Illinois.
Probably so. Yep, probably so. Let's see. Blake said, stop doubting Josh Heupel, Evan. I'm not doubting Josh Heupel. I am doubting the 18 to 23-year-old kids that know that the game that they're playing ultimately doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, because the most they're going to get is a trophy that says good job on the Music City Bowl. Meanwhile, all the people that, they've played against their whole lives are playing the next few days after that in playoff games that they know they should have been in.
It's not even a cool trophy. There's no toaster in it. You don't get to eat a mascot after the game.
Exactly.
Like there's nothing
no
to play
Pop-Tarts.
for.
Yeah. No Pop-Tarts. David said, I wonder if the base defense at Angel run helps our young players make plays.
Yeah.
It should, because they have less to think about. Audrey said 52-38 Vols. There you go, Audrey. That's what I'm talking about. Blake said, you don't mean that, Evan. I wish I didn't. I really do. I wish I didn't. But I mean, seriously, if you're in that locker room and you're looking at your teammates and they are opting out of this game because they know it doesn't matter long term, how can you be impervious to that infiltrating your psyche as well?
Well, and you don't know how many of these guys have, like you said, have been actively talking to other schools. So like you're looking around the locker room and you don't really know what everyone's motivation is for being there. And that's why I said I think Heupel's got to set the tone. Like he has to go out there. I would take the ball first. I would go out there and throw the ball the first 8 to 10 plays. Set a tone that you're here to win and win big. So that you don't have that mentality lingering on the sideline.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Oreo Puppy Dog said 48-38 Tennessee. That legit might be the actual final score right there. That could be spot on. That's a really good prediction. David said 500K. Sign me up.
Yep.
Audrey, I'm sorry. I apologize. She said that might put Heupel in a pickle. Yeah, it for sure would put him in a pickle. And then all off season, we would be hearing, well, they just didn't, care, and that's on Heupel. And then he's going to roll into next year with his hardest schedule he's had since taking the reins at Tennessee, and things aren't going to go so great. And people are going to be like, oh my goodness, fire him now, and all this kind of stuff. It could be the beginning of a downward spiral, and I hope I'm wrong about that, but you've seen these things happen before, Matt said 34-31 Vols. There you go, Matt. That's what I'm talking about. Just switch the winner in my score. I like that. I will take that all day, every day. As long as Tennessee walks out there with a win, I'll be happy. Rebel Juice said, I hope Tennessee wins, not just as a Vols fan, but so Joey can end his college career with a win. Riding off into the sunset moment for him. I totally agree, man. 100%. 100% agree. Let's see. Yeah, Matt said, 8-5 versus 9-4 is a big deal. It is. I mean, it is to anybody because 9-4 looks way better than 8-5. It just does.
Mm-hmm.
Blake said, do you think NIL and the transfer portal will eventually go away? No.
I don't think it'll go away. I think it'll look different. I think there's enough coaches now calling for change that the portal will alter based on the calendar changing, which badly needs to change.
Yes.
The calendar has got to be completely redone. And so when they do that, it will allow them to put some parameters on the portal, which will make it make sense. NIL won't fully go away. It'll probably turn into a hybrid of NIL and collective bargaining. And, the combination of all those things, again, also with a calendar change will help with that a little bit too. The crappy part of all this, and like we're talking about kids and families on Christmas, sitting there fielding phone calls instead of having Christmas. They're trying to figure out where they're going next year and how much they're accepting. Well, on the other end of that line was a coach who's sitting in his house or in his office at work, making all those phone calls and making those offers rather than being with his family on Christmas. So,
Yep.
It's a mess, and the whole thing's got to change.
You're exactly right. Exactly right. Let's see if I missed any. I think I got them all. Let's see here. Oh, I started to come back to it. So Jonathan was talking about the Adidas money. He said if the NCAA asks, it starts July 1st. But if anybody else asks, we're using it right now.
Correct.
That might be the best comment of the whole night right there. That is awesome. That's amazing. Well, Ruston, any last thoughts before we sign off for the evening?
No. I hope they set a tone on Tuesday, and I hope it's not a complete letdown. I think it could go one of two ways very quickly. So hopefully they come out and look to create an environment of being pass happy.
Absolutely. Let's see. I like what Rebel Juice said. He said players need to sign a contract that keeps them at a team for an X amount of time. Can't hit the portal until the contract is up, or an opt-out clause. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Blake said Tennessee plays mighty South Carolina upstate, or is it South Carolina State?
It's South Carolina State.
Oh, well, that's even worse.
Tuesday night at 8:00.
So that'll be our next show. We'll talk about that.
Lady Vols play New Year's Day against Florida. They open SEC play New Year's Day.
David made a really good analogy here. He said FCS Group of 5 and Power 4 is becoming single A, double A, and triple A with no rules.
Correct.
That is a phenomenal analogy. That's exactly correct. Yep. Absolutely. Well, the next time we see everyone, it'll be 2026. So we look forward to that. We hope all of you have a fantastic week. Have a great Tuesday. If you're going to the game, thank you for going to the game. I do appreciate that.
Bundle up.
Absolutely. I hope you take your hot hands and your gloves as well. Matt already beat me to it. He said he used the Go Vols baby emoji as a channel member. One day, StreamYard's going to let us show those on the screen here. It's going to be a great day. Jonathan said we need a rundown on South Carolina State's mascot.
If I remember correctly, I don't think it's anything overly unique. Yeah, they're just the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's an ugly bulldog, but here I'll share my screen so everybody can see it.
It's a knockoff Mississippi State bulldog.
Yeah. Man, what were they thinking? Okay, all right. I got to share my screen so people can see this. We'll end our show with
They were thinking there's not a whole lot of ways you can represent a bulldog.
Yeah.
So you just got to take what you got.
Like the bulldog looks like he's had a rough day, man. That's rough. That is an ugly bulldog. I mean, bulldogs ain't pretty to begin with, but they were like, let's take it to its extreme and really make it ugly. I wonder if it has a name, like Archibald T. Eagle. Let's see. Mascot name. I don't see a specific name for it.
It's called the Bulldog. Their bulldog
he has
is the
an
bulldog.
Instagram account. I think this is fake. It says I'm pretty sure that's fake. The Instagram account I do not think is the correct Instagram account.
The South Carolina State University website says the mascot is the Bulldog. Bulldog,
Nice.
The Bulldog.
So Archibald T. Eagle meets the Bulldog.
Yep.
David said South Carolina has great barbecue. There you go.
It's like the Ohio State University. Like they're just putting everybody else on notice that they are the Bulldog.
Yeah, David said Spike. Yeah, that's what the Instagram account said, but the Instagram account looked a little shady. I'm not sure that's the right. Yeah. Let's see. Some of the comments came through. Rhonda said, everybody have a happy new year. Absolutely. I hope everybody has a wonderful new year. David said, happy new year. I wish nothing but the best for everybody in 2026. Absolutely.
Oh my. No, that sketchy Instagram account is the Instagram account. That's real. It is Spike. Wow.
Somebody needs to work on that thing. It looks not good.
Yeah.
John said, good night, everybody. Great show as always. See everybody next time. Absolutely. Absolutely. Matt, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. Glad you're with us. Seriously, we do appreciate everybody joining us. I seriously hope everybody has a wonderful 2026 ahead of you. We'll be seeing you right off the bat in 2026. We hope everybody has a safe New Year's Eve. And we look forward to seeing everybody very soon. Go Vols, baby. Have a great, great evening.